friends, today is June 29th, which means that it is time for the July TBR. It has taken me a while to cultivate my stack for the month, but I am ready. So let's have at it. First on my list, and I'm going in no particular order, actually scratch that, I am going in a particular order. It's the smallest in size to the largest so that my stack doesn't fall over. First book on my list is Raymond Feist's Magician's Apprentice, or Magician Apprentice, my bad. This is about Yet Pug's strange magic. He is an apprentice. He's got apparently a strange kind of magic, and he is apprenticing with somebody, and this kind of strange magic is going to one day save the world. So I am excited to read this. This is all I know about it. I'm going in kind of blind, except for the fact that I know it is a book that a series that people rave about, and it's supposed to be an epic fantasy series. I'm looking forward to reading it. I've heard nothing but great things about this. I actually have the full series that I have found, as you can tell by the sticker, I have tried to take off. I have found in a secondhand bookstore in my neighborhood, and I'm really excited to start reading it. So this has been on my shelf for a little over a month, and I'm excited to get to it. Next up, I have my guilty pleasure. I started this one several months ago and had to put it away because I had other things that I needed to get to that month, but I am now ready to commit to it. I got 60 pages in when I first started, so I'm ready to get back in. That is Rebecca Yaros's Iron Flame. I'm excited to get back to my war college and get back to my dragons. Excited to see what happens to Sorengale and her crew. Excited about this one. Next up is a little bit of a classic, a lesser known classic, but a classic nonetheless. It is short. It is a 98 page, 100 page novella called Ethan Frome. It is a short novella about a forbidden love, a man married to a domineering woman when her younger cousin comes to visit and kind of rips their world apart, offering him a little chance at hope and love, I think. So I'm excited to see where this one leads. That'll be a quick read for me. I might get that one out of the way early on. Last month's horror was a bust for me, and I had to DNF, so I'm excited to be reading a horror this month that is an author that is known to me, whose last book that I read was enjoyable. His last book read like a horror, but was actually a thriller, so I'm excited about it. This month I'm reading Mr. Lullaby by J.H. Marquardt. The last one I read by him was, let's see if I can find it. It's around here somewhere. Sleep Tight, and I enjoyed it. It was a bit of a thriller, but it had like a horror feel to it, and I really enjoyed it. So Mr. Lullaby the premise is that there is a tunnel in this town that has like a lot of lore to it, and they want to seal it up. But before sealing it, they find two bodies in the tunnel. One, I believe, is a little boy who is after being found in the tunnel, is in a coma. There's also a man somewhere who's been having these visions for primarily his whole life, and his visions are now telling him to kill anybody who is in a coma state. So clearly something is coming alive or awakening in the tunnel, and the book is going to tell us what it is. So I'm excited to read this. This has also been on my shelves for quite some time, so I'm excited to knock that one out. Next is another fantasy that I have wanted to read for a while. Ever since I heard about it, I've wanted to get my hands on this book. I had to order my book club pick for this month, and I just threw this in the cart with it because I figured, why not? Simon Jimenez's The Spear Cuts Through Water, which I hear is just absolutely poetic writing. This is basically about two warriors that are accompanying an ancient god through some ravished lands to kind of take power back from a villainous royal family to save their world. So it is an epic fantasy. It's a standalone fantasy. I'm excited to get to this. There is not one person who I have heard say anything bad about this book. I don't really go by ratings on Goodreads just because I find that they're somewhat skewed from what I usually rate books, but from the people that I follow who like the same things that I like, all the reviews have been raving. So I'm excited to get my hands on this and to finally get started. I usually don't read books as soon as I get them, but I've had this for 2 days and I'm starting soon. The next one is an anomaly. I have had, this is my second copy of this book. I think it has sat on my shelf for at least 20 years. My first copy was a hardcover, and I ended up selling it in my last move just because I thought I'd never get to it. I felt like maybe my taste had changed and it was just something I wasn't going to read. And then I started hearing a lot of hype about it. Somebody at work told me, this is right up your alley, you're going to love it. I can't believe you haven't read it yet. So I bought another copy of it, and now it's finally time to start. That is Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth. The more I hear about it, the more it does sound like this is definitely my kind of book. So it is a chunker. I plan on starting in July. I don't know that with everything else I have on my plate to read, I don't know that I'll get through it, but I'm definitely committed to starting it in July. I'm excited. The synopsis is a bunch of monks that are starting to build a cathedral. So it doesn't sound very exciting, but from everything that I hear, it is something that I would like. So I'm gonna give it a shot, and hopefully I fall in love with it like everybody else has and continue the series, because I hear that it's wonderful. Next up is not usually my cup of tea, but it is summer and I have a lot of heavy reading, so I did want to kind of cut into it with something that's a little bit of a palate cleanser. So I picked a romance, Emily Henry's Happy Place. So this is, I hear that she can be spicy but not too spicy. I'm not a big fan of spicy books, so I'm hoping that that is accurate and that I'm not going to be grossed out halfway through reading. But this is, the premise of this is a couple that's been together for a while. They usually go away for the summer to this property that is, this is the last summer it's going to be available. They have since broken up. They haven't told any of their friends, so they're going to kind of fake it for this one last summer so that they can spend this one summer in their happy place this one last summer before telling everybody that they've broken things off. So I have never read anything by Emily Henry. Like I said, I'm not a huge romance reader, so I'm excited to see where this goes, and if I enjoy it, because I know that people tend to really like her books, so we'll see. Then I have my aardvark pick for last month, and I wasn't going to read this month, but I cannot stop thinking about this book. I just love the art on the cover, so I am picking a book by its cover. We have my cat joining us here in a second. He cannot get enough of me sitting in this spot. It is The Starving Saints. It is, I have to tell you, I can't even tell you what it's about because the synopsis is so confusing. It just sounds, it starts off by saying a transfixing fever dream of medieval horror. And honestly, the synopsis sounds like a fever dream. So I feel like that's an accurate description. It sounds like there's some kind of a famine. There's a war going on outside where these nuns are cloistered. And it's not a famine, but like it may as well be, because they're cloistered in this convent, and because of whatever is happening outside the convent, the war, they can't get enough food. They're going hungry. When somebody comes, this woman who they are perceiving like a savior, a saint, a shaman of sorts, she comes in, and there's a lot of debaucherous stuff that's happening, and she starts to kind of do not so great things, but she's also brought them food, and things seem to be going better, but there's a lot of scandalous behavior happening. And then there's 3 characters that they're kind of onto her, but there's also things going on with them that just isn't right. So it's this really crazy, convoluted stuff going on, but I love a good story with nuns and habits and convents and horror all mixed into one. So I'm excited about this one too. So that's actually 2 horrors in 1 month. We'll see. And finally, I've got my book club's pick of the month, and it's a nonfiction called Medicine River, A Story of Survival and the Legacy of Indian Boarding Schools. We're excited to read this one. This one is by Mary Annette Pember, whose grandmother was actually one of the children taken to one of these boarding schools that tried to obliterate the native culture. So we're excited to read this. It's going to be a heavy read for us, but I'm looking forward to the read. I hear it's a great read. It was actually one of my 3 picks. We each put 3 picks in a bag every month and keep picking until there's one remaining. And this is one of the 3 that I put in. So I'm excited to read it, but I'm also kind of nervous, hoping that the other girls in the book club enjoy it. So those are my 8-9 reads for the month. I'll go through them quickly one more time for you. I've got 1 nonfiction, Medicine River. I have got 2 horrors, The Starving Saints and Mr. Lullaby. I have got 1 classic, Ethan Frome. I have got 1 romance, Happy Place. I have got 1 historical fiction, Pillars of the Earth, and then I have a romantasy, Iron Flame, and 2 epic fantasies, 1 standalone, Spear Cuts Through Water, and the first in a series, Magician Apprentice. So that's what I've got going on this month. Wish me luck.